Hello all sentient beings and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the... On this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we review Transformers Beast Wars Issue 4. IDW has a new mobile app, and Netflix gets some new Transformers Cyberverse. Today is Friday, June 4th, 2021, and this is episode 236 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that will carry you when you're injured. Not far, but a little bit, and in the wrong direction. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers.
All right, as always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you so much for continuing to support the show. We really appreciate it. And, it keeps us going, keeps the hosting fees paid, keeps our website up. Lots of good stuff. And, this week we had our bonus Donatreon exclusive episode of Empire of Rust, episode 51. That was the early advanced release version that went out to all our Donatreons. One of the perks of being a Donatreon is you get that early. And then this Monday coming up is the regular episode in the main feed, in the free feed for everyone who's listening to Empire of Rust. So episode 51, Space Dungeon Spongin', that will be out and available to everyone for free on Monday, June 7th. So look forward to that. All right, well, let's jump right in and talk about a little bit of comics news. All right, so first up in comics news, we've got the second part of the Takara Tomy Generations web final manga. So this is the wrapping up the giant storylines in the Takara Tomy manga that accompanies all their toy releases. So this has finally been translated into English. So this is from Tet's Toys and Shenanigans blog. They did the translation. So you can, if you do not read Japanese, you can now read the story. It's kind of bonkers. It throws in Primacron and Unicron, Ultra Megatron, Volcanicus. That's the Dinobot Combiner, and King Poseidon. That's the Seacons in Japan. So lots of crazy things happening. Lots of time travel, alternate dimensions. Every Japanese Transformers continuity. That's all mashed up here in this manga. So you can go read the whole story. I think all the parts are already posted up and have English translations. So this is just the last one, but you can go check that out. And of course, they all tie in all the most recent toy releases. They always tie them in, so that's lots of fun stuff there. All right, and second item we have is that IDW recently had a new app, a new mobile app for their comics reading platform. So, Jeremy, what do you think of this new app?
It's very basic. If you remember a few weeks ago, their previous, the company that made their previous app, which was Madefire, went out of business just suddenly. And IDW announced that they were going to have a new app made by Inky Pen, they actually created an app for the Switch to bring comics to the Switch. And it is now available. It's called the IDW Digital Comics Experience, and it's now available for Android and iOS. My existing app just updated to the new version. I didn't really have to go and find a new app, so it was very seamless. And when you log in, they have on their idwpublishing.com/app-fac FAQ has instructions on how to get signed in using and associated with your previous account. So all of the books that you had come over, but they're also, if you do that, you're also going to get a $25 bundle of books, which are Lock and Key Volume 1, My Little Pony Transformers 2, issue number 1, Star Trek Next Generation Mirror Broken number 1, Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 1, Sonic the Hedgehog number 1, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin number. So you're going to get all of those in your account automatically as, kind of a thanks for putting up with this, sudden closure of the old app that was really out of IDW's control. So they are releasing the new app as a beta. So there are probably going to be bugs, and it is very simple at the moment. But they have a link for feedback if you are having issues or if you have suggestions. But I mean, it worked. I was able to get in. I got the bundle. It was completely no hassle. So that was good. So if you do use the IDW app, I would recommend you make sure you update it and you're on the new version. But as always, my recommendation for digital comics is to go through Comixology, because Android or Amazon is not likely to go out of business.
Yeah, I also upgraded my app, and weird thing is like the IDW has had a specific Transformers comics app.
Yeah,
and that's where my account was, and then when I did that one, then the purchases showed up, and then I got the free ones.
Yeah, they had specific apps for each franchise, like a Ninja Turtles and stuff too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think this going forward, they want everyone to use this new IDW app that has everything, but use Comixology. It's so much easier.
So but, did you say that they're giving away copies of The Last Ronin number 1?
Yeah, digital version.
Oh, I mean, that book's worth $100 right now.
But not the digital version.
And
it's not an NFT. If you want to actually just read the book and not just use it as something to sell.
And there's the rub.
I hear it's good.
It's very good. It's very good. I'm really enjoying it.
All right. Well, that's all our comics news. And now we will move on to our comic review.
All right. We are going to be looking at Beast Wars number 4. This is written by Eric Burnham, art by Josh Burcham, letters by Jake M. Wood. Editors are David Marriott, Tom Waltz, and Riley Farmer. And there are 3 covers. Cover A has a Dinobot just kind of almost in silhouette, maybe like a sunset. And this is by Josh Burcham. Cover B has a Dinobot and Waspinator in kind of more their classic G1 Beast War forms. This is by Dan Schoening and Luis Antonio Delgado. And the retailer incentive has Dinobot facing off against the Maximals. And this is by Dan Kana and Josh Perez. So, Charles, let's start with you. Which one of the 3 is your favorite?
I'm going to pick the retailer incentive cover by Dan Kana. I really like that action scene there, and it ties into the issue because it is pretty much like the end of the issue, and it looks good. It's a good it's very evocative of the characters in the CGI show. So I like how it looks. And Dan Kana he's a longtime Transformers fan and really cool artist too. And then colors by Josh Perez, of course. That also makes it great.
You can't go wrong. All right, Daryl, how about you?
I just like the cover A, Josh Bersham's cover. It's simplistic. It's kind of, I don't know. It gives me a very stoic kind of feel, and it looks cool. So yeah, that's the one I like.
And that's also the one I like. I think you just kind of can get a good feel of Dinobot's character just from this one image. It's the look of kind of an honorable warrior. I don't know. There was just something about it that drew me to that one. All right. Well, let's get into the story. It starts with Nyx having just escaped from the Predacons, and she is in her bat form, trying to she's going through a forest, trying to get shelter and trying to make her way back to the Maximals. but her internal computer keeps telling her that she is, seriously injured and she can't fly, and she doesn't believe the computer, and she tries to fly and doesn't really get anywhere, just crashes back to the ground. So she transforms into her robot mode, figuring that the longer legs will help. And then she runs into Dinobot, and she runs into a native creature who tries to take her out, and she holds her own for a second, but she's too injured. And before she's about to get killed by this creature, Dinobot just takes care of it right away. And then she's terrified because she's like, you're on the Predacons. And then she recognizes that he's the Predacon that helped free her. And Dinobot says that he's been tracking her. He wants to. He's also getting away from the Predacons. And Nyx then kind of passes out from the energon exposure. And Dinobot he tries to run a diagnosis, but Nyx's internal computer is preventing him from having any kind of access. So he eventually works out a way to retrace her steps back to the maximal base, and like puts her on his back in his alt mode. And on the Axelon, on the ship, Rhinox and Cheetor have been trying to work on boosting the sensors. And as they do this, Rat Trap has scavenged a component from Nyx's quarters to help using and boosting the signal. And as soon as they plug it in, they get a ping because Optimus Primal had an idea and basically focused the sensor to Nyx's signal rather than doing a more wide sweep, and used the stasis pods in orbit to help get through the energon interference. So they get the ping and they see how slow it's moving, and they go out to where the ping is coming from, and then they spot Dinobot, and immediately Cheetor tries to attack Dinobot, but Dinobot just kind of flips him over and has his sword right at Cheetor's head. But instead of actually finishing him off, Dinobot says that Nyx showed honor and he wants to fight with people that show honor, and he requests to join the Maximal. So that was essentially the book. It's an interesting take on what we saw in the show, where when Dinobot joined them or wanted to join the Maximals in the show, there was more of an actual confrontation and a battle. I think this is a really cool way of doing it, where you're getting to see more of the honor in Dinobot. And I really enjoyed the book. It was a really short read, but it was still really enjoyable. I really like Nyx in this too. Kind of just, there's something about the Nyx character that it's really, like a lot of new characters don't really kind of click with you right away. And I think Nyx has. I really like Nyx. All the other characters are like right where they should be, but I think the addition of Nyx has been a really good one for the Maximal. So Daryl, you've recently anointed yourself as the biggest Beast Wars fan on the show. What was your thought of this book?
I found it kind of slow. I mean, you basically start the book off where the last one left off, which is perfectly fine and appreciated. Though I have to say, I'm not, because I never really watched the show. Do all the Beast Wars characters have this internal computer that they can talk to?
Yeah.
All right. That's weird.
Because like if they're in robot mode too long, they'll have a notice, like an audible notice saying like energon buildup is too high or something.
Okay. So it seemed kind of odd that they have this kind of internal monologue or internal computer that's not their conscious mind that they can talk to. So there's kind of two brains in one head. I found that kind of odd. And then this computer voice can also communicate with Dinobot, like externally. So,
I think that was
that's a little odd. And was easily outsmarted by Dinobot to allow him to find the maximal base. Like he outright asks it, where's the maximal base? Can't tell you. Okay, well then, will you lead me to it? Okay, sure. That was easy. So yeah, you get the action you get in this book is Nick's fighting with some animal. And I don't think it's any kind of robotic animal. I think it's just a organic, right?
Yeah, I think it's probably some mutated like saber-toothed tiger or something like that.
Some kind of predator. And that's fine. It's but it's the whole book is about them finding Nyx, right? And it's not I did enjoy the kind of grandstanding that Megatron does about while now that we're out of the ship, we can finally go. Everyone's going to go, and if anyone tries to do anything, then the ship's going to explode. I mean that kind of maniacal leadership is is kind of appreciated. But other than that, I did find the book fairly slow. I didn't really do too much. So yeah, it's okay. I'm not super impressed with it, but it'll do.
All right. Charles, what were your thoughts on the book?
I kind of agree with Daryl. I am enjoying the I am enjoying the book. I am enjoying the new take on Beast Wars. Josh Bersham's art is great. I especially like the contrast between the animal forms and the robot modes, how the animal forms are more rounded and the robot modes are more angular. I think, Josh is a great artist and is able to really make all these scenes really dynamic. I like Dinobots, the more simple designs of the Beast Wars robots makes them look kind of younger. Like Dinobot's face makes him look younger for some reason. I don't know. But I think it's I do think the pacing of the story, it does feel a little slow to me. I mean, like we're taking 4 issues to basically cover like half of or the first half of the 2-parter of Beast Wars basically. And I think I don't know. I think the pace could be a little bit quicker, but I do like the focus on Nyx. I think expanding on her character, since she is a new character, is good, and we get a little bit more from her. And I do like the interaction with the computer. I thought that was it's a little they never really in the cartoon they never really went deep into the explanation as to why their internal computers are like how they have conversations with them, but it's still a part of them. And I think it can serve as a little bit of exposition and also some humor. And I like Dinobot basically outsmarting the Maximal computer to get around the fact that he's not authorized. So yeah, overall, I think it's it's a good solid book, but I would like the pace to pick up.
All right, yeah, and I can't remember how long Josh is going to be on the book, because I think we are going to have an artist change. Was it issue 7? I think.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It's Winston Chan is. Oh,
really? He's getting to do internals. Yeah. Awesome.
Did you miss this whole? Y'all didn't talk about this last week. I missed a week and.
So I didn't read the solicits as very closely, because I saw he was
to Discord.
I guess not. No, I didn't.
Winston's he's one of us.
He is.
To be honest,
that's awesome.
I caught that after the show as well. So
yeah,
but congratulations to Winston.
Yeah,
we're all part of a team, like a chain, Jeremy. And when one piece of the chain is gone, the whole chain doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, this was announced actually a couple weeks ago, and when they did the King Grimlock announcement. So so I'm looking forward to seeing Winston do interiors on Beast Wars. Should be
awesome. Fun. Winston's dream is finally coming true. He's graduating from covers.
Yeah, so this will be good. I mean, the series as a whole, I've been enjoying a lot. So even if it's slow, it's still packed with a bunch of stuff I'm loving. And looking forward to seeing issue 5 whenever IDW decides to ship it. That is it for the comic review this week. Sorry, Charles, for throwing you under the bus.
Apologies to Winston for me not noticing your big announcement. And now I've just gone over to the IDW channel in our chat, and I see the discussion here, and I see Winston chiming in himself there. So apologies, Winston, for not realizing. That's awesome. Congratulations. All right. So now we will move on to Transformers Media News.
All right. In media news, we've got a couple things to talk about. There was a conference, JP Morgan conference, and Transformers were discussed, along with their other Hasbro products like Wizard of the Coast and G.I. Joe. I haven't pre-read this, and this is very businessy, so I assume Jeremy would have read it, but I guess it's my thing.
You asked me to cover it. Could have thrown to me.
Jeremy, what do you think of this?
I think this is really interesting. They said that Transformers 7 is going into production very soon. Script is in great shape. Casting is all in pre-production. So that's, I don't think that's the same one we heard about recently, because don't they have 2 live action movies? But they also have a new Transformers animated movie that they're working on, he said. Hasbro is working on their own video games based on their toy properties. Wizard of the Coast is working on video games with Transformers IP. They've invested over $200 million in developing games. And, I don't really think of Wizard of the Coast as a video game company. We'll see how they do. Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner praised the 2007 Bay movie for enhancing and sustaining the brand. I think we can agree with one of those. It probably helps sustain the brand. But he said that it went before around 2006. He said that let's call the value of the brand 1x, and then with the theatrical movies, it went up to like 3x. And it's been sustainable since that first movie at that level. So that's kind of interesting. And, we'll see. And then they also said Transformers 7 is going to be summer 2022. And no date on the animated movie. And the Josh Cooley Josh Cooley is directing the animated feature film. That'll be after 2020. So, All right, next summer, that seems pretty quick for a Transformers live action movie to be going from pre-production to release. Well,
it's been in pre-production for a while.
Yeah.
Right on. The next thing we have is that the Transformers Cyberverse Season 4 movies are going to be put up on Netflix as specials. So that's really cool. We had been talking about these things for quite some time, and that Season 4 was going to be broken up into 4 specials. There were going to be 45 minutes apiece or 40 minutes apiece, something like that. They were going to be longer. So these were going to be, they were going to essentially consist of what would have been Season 4. And we're going to get the first one on November 21st of this year. So it's still a little bit away, but hey, we have a date now. So that's good. And Netflix generally, from what we've understood, they tend to stick to their dates. So right. So we can look forward to something in November. And lastly, we have a little bit of art from the 4K edition of the 35th anniversary 86 movie. And these are done by artist Matt Ferguson. So you can take a look at those. A bunch of sketches, and they all look really awesome. Some really nice art here. Very G1, movie relevant. So take a look at those and see what you think.
Did any of you pre-order the new Blu-ray release?
I did.
I did too. I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, so I guess that's the next thing I need.
I can't imagine I'd be able to tell the difference. I don't have a 4K TV to start.
Then there will be no difference.
Yeah. So, right on. This will be good. But, yeah. I can't think even how many times has Star Wars been released? You know, I mean, it's been released a lot, but I can't imagine Star Wars has even been released as many times as the Transformers movie at this point.
They're probably neck and neck.
Like, that's ridiculous. I'm all for getting this movie out as much as possible, but come on. This is nuts.
At least with this one and the last one, they've gone back and like rescanned the film. So like This is like they rescanned it into 4K.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to look as good as it can look.
Right, but have the Star Wars films come out on 4K?
They have come out in Blu-ray.
No,
last I heard was Blu-ray.
Yeah. The 4K versions are on Disney Plus now. That's
right.
Yeah, I know all the new stuff is coming out as 4K, but it's all on Disney.
Yeah,
McClunky.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I had for media news.
All right. Well, that will take us to the end of Transmissions Alt Mode. As always, we end the show by giving a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. So thank you again to John4X11Good and Dinobot Maximize. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting us at the highest level. And if you want to buy some merchandise from our TeePublic store, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And you can get all our awesome shirts, masks, and other merchandise there. And if you want to buy anything from TeePublic, you can go through our link, and that will help out the show. So transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And that's it for this week's Transmissions Alt Mode. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.